The video you're watching concerns a video game that was released through Steam from Christmas time 2013 to Christmas time 2016 on behalf of its developer, Facepunch, Rust Legacy. Today we're at the southeast, or more correctly stated, lower right-hand corner of map that you can see, barn. Now I'm going to bring it up on the map here real quick and point it out with a pointer. It's right here. It's just a little box building, pretty boring kind of thing, that sort of thing. And it's technically a buildable spot. And I've lined myself in the doorway to where I can do this. I have my keyboard assigned to where I can tilt the camera up and down. And you'll notice that we're lined up kind of with just the outside of the building, just barely right there with that piece of wood. We want to line up exactly right. I'm going to crouch and tap left and right. You'll notice how difficult that is to do. And if you futz with it enough, you can get it right. But what we're going to do is we're just going to aim for where we're looking to line up at on the opposite side. We're almost perfect, so that's close enough. We line up with that piece of wood there, and we get it in the center, just like that. Just a tiny bit of movement right and left. Do not use the mouse for this unless you absolutely have to. Now we're going to observe that we have one basically stick coming out of the ground. It looks like a tree limb. And then we got a 6-layer fake plant there. Now I'm going to hit number 6 and bring up the foundation. And we want to get it lined up, the next step, exactly like this. Now this is going to be very likely not perfectly lined up. Now you'll notice on the far right there, the seam or whatever between two planks appears to be just perfect. And the problem with that is it shouldn't be. It's okay if it is, but you kind of really want it not to be, because this is an asymmetrical model for this barn build. And from previous experience, I found that bringing it over just ever so slightly past that line like that seems to make it a little bit more centered. Now we're going to crouch down and try to do that all over again, because we need to make sure we get this as close as we can while we're in the crouch position, because we need to move very, very slowly. And of course, the game engine is creating shit tons of lag. Now you can see our direct line there. We are at looking the straight line of the green outline of the foundation we're going to put in. We want it, however, to be almost exactly one floor, I'll call it board, over to the left. So we're going to tap over using the letter A once. Again, that should be kind of enough, but I'm going to go one more, just embellish it. And then we're going to place it down. Bang. Now, after that, we go over here, we turn around immediately and put it right there at our feet. And I'm going to hit 6 again so that we've disabled placing foundations. Come out here and look. Now you can see that we're not quite exactly halfway on that one, but the building lines up to where it's just a little bit over to the left of the dead center of that board. We go over here, and we get seemingly an almost perfect dead center on the left here, which seems to be kind of important to get this exactly right. And again, it's kind of further outside than we might want it, might think it would be. And then we put down our other foundations. I'm going to hit the number 6, and we're in the middle of a lag spike. Okay, there we go. All right, good. Now, warning, I'm doing this from my computer's hard drive. I'm running a server that I've told to turn off everything that causes lag. Still happens. This game engine needs an enema. It needs an overhaul. I would go here. I got it reasonably close. The idea is to make it to where it's just barely that way, and it'll be not perfectly centered, but that's as close as I can get it. It's almost perfect. And the idea is that we can then put down a wall almost exactly intersecting with these. The problem is we have to decide on where we're going to start. Now we can start here by putting pillars right here and just go back, and we'll have a dead space back there that's about the size of a barricade that we have to put a barricade here. Or we can start at the back corner. I'm choosing to start at the back corner, but first let's really start where we need to. Let's wait for the lag spike. And we're going to try and put down our pillars of pane in the door frame. And again, we're getting lag spiked. Now, it's the game engine for Rust Legacy isn't trying to necessarily punk us or punk me at this point, but it has the effect of doing so, and it's very intermittent. Behavior is truly annoying. Okay, so let's get this. Are you going to refuse to? So as you can see, doing this is really... Let me just turn that off because I'm tired of arguing with it. As you can see, we have a small gap here. If we moved it over to the right a little more, we'd have less of a gap. That's true. But we want to keep them even so we get a nice surround effect. Okay, let's go in here and see if we can get the damn thing to place the thing. That was very nice of you. Eventually doing what you were told to do literally over a minute ago. Let's get out here and do the corner. That is to, if possible, have it fuse like that. And then we go here in the dead middle of it. Let's make sure we're lined up. I want to see it. I want to make it obvious. Now we get out our walls. And it is possible while doing this, you might be hearing weird screeching noises at this point as the game engine desperately tries to cause more problems. Now, me and Unity do not get along. The game engine Unity is the work of the devil. I'm sorry. So anyway, let's get that position. But no, I'm not going to take that back. That's the hill I'm going to die on. It's one of the reasons I did not do Unity game engine activities when it first came out. I tried it, I worked with it, I hated it viciously. So anyway, go back here. And then we hit the 5 button again, and bam. And I want to point out, the way I've cleaned up most of the lag, it was much worse before, was to turn off every form of something called truth. It's called truth in the game engine file set. Turn off truth, enforce, etc. And it's still lagging the hell out of it when it feels like it. As you can see here, if we get really close to, let's say, an open space, let's look over here. When we get in close, you can see that you can tell that three-dimensionally there is a gap there, but it's right up against it because it got it centered almost perfectly. But more importantly, on the back here, it's also done exactly the same thing. So we do have it. And yes, up there, I sealed it up with those when I had it up before. I just tore it down. I also put a triple box up there to make sure I had a place to seal off the back area there. So this is effectively sealed off except for not having the door. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the other pillars. Now again, we biased, I'm going to turn that off. We biased towards the back corner here. In the front corner, we have a dead space. So we're going to do at least this. We're actually going to do more than just this. Now we count from where that is, and then we go clunk, dunk. We want every other one. Boom. Then we do the same thing over here. Hopefully I didn't break anything. I'm going to put a door frame back here, and I want that diagonal piece there that's on the right, on the left side. That becomes important in a minute. It really is. So that's that so far. And then we put in our roof pieces, or ceiling pieces, excuse me. And that is 99% of the build. Obviously we need doors. And what we do is we put a door here, and it should hinge on that side right there, and open this way, and then we put an ordinary box jammed in between the wood layers here so we can hop up in it. Then we hop up on the edge of the door that is now slammed in our face, and then we go up there into the rafters and we can get up on top. And I'm going to be pausing the video recording really quickly for the rest of this so that you can see what is going on here. I'll just do that real quick. So, we're going to be looking in my set of stuff here. I'm going to be running a removal function here real quick. Destroy. This is by Dratex. It's a tool, so we can get away with doing that. I'm going to get over here really close to this here, I want to be at the actual center point of where the door opens at, and I want to put a box down in whatever crag or crevice I can find here so we can use this as hop up. Now, because I put that extra wall back there, that might be difficult, but we want it on that just one rung up. We grab our door frame again, back up, number 4 it, bonk, and let's see here. I think I have a door in here. I didn't get a door. I don't care. No, I would actually do here. So I'll have to fix that. Hold on. And let's see. We grab our door, and it should swing to the left. We'll see what happens. Yay! It did it. So that when we go up here, we have a box to jump up on. And the key thing is we need to just jump up on top of the door. And we essentially just run into the top wooden rung, and then we can just walk up here, and we're up in this space. And I'll just dress it up with the basics. I'll throw a bag down here at the far end this way on purpose, like that. So it's as far away from this other end as possible. I'm going to be putting the bed basically down here. Let me get over here to where I can fall. Go over here, jump up. There we go. Get over here, point down. Get the bed, cuss under my breath, number 6, slide over carefully, I suppose I could do it some other way that's simpler, but I'm an idiot, so let's just try and keep peace with the fact that I'm an idiot. Boom. Around here, and let's see what else. Oh yeah, this and this. I'll just put them in place too. It doesn't matter. I'll just drop it. Drop it while it's hot. And that was the triple box that I already put away up there, so we'll just do our fire pit, which I'm going to just go back here and just dump it right here. Boom. Now, excess walls. Let's see here. Did I have any extra walls? No, I didn't. Okay, let me see if I can get that taken care of. And now the purpose of the wooden wall, obviously, is, well, it does what walls do. Because we had to bias towards the back corner to make this look, almost like nothing's going on here, we need to block off the space here. Only a little bit. It's not needing to be a airlock, but it can be. But that makes it to where the gap that's over here is compensated for by this wall, and the fact that the rest of it doesn't have a gap is just not needing to be compensated for. And while this doesn't eliminate the ability of someone getting up there, it makes it much more difficult, because without that door there, we don't have a stop that keeps us from getting up here as easy, which I just disproved because I've got too much practice playing this game. Anyway, let's review. And yes, we can use these technically to shoot through points or whatever if you want. Or you could just come on the outside, put another couple of pillars, and finish out the building and make it fully square in the front. Your choice. So that is what the lower right barn, as far as the map is concerned, lower right barn, and or the south east barn setup looks like. And that's the way to access up into the rafters, etc. And that's pretty much the entire build process done in one shot. And I recommend using a triple box if you can get one to patch that hole there, because that keeps people from being able to get in. Nothing else seems to fit in there properly and do a good job, although you could decide to stick in, I suppose, a repair bench and or something like that if you can jam it in. These fill in really nicely with just a couple of barricades, but that's 120 wood you're going to have to throw away every day. Or just go up there with some wood in your hot bar and tap the key for it. And it looks like that. Let's get a little further back. It's not quite obvious on this side that there's something piercing through the ceiling. And if we go over here and go a little uphill, we see very little going on there. So it's at least not aesthetically unpleasant. And we do have it made up to where it will definitely be a decent base.